So those of you who don't know me, my name is Sven. I'm one of the two managers, along with Lonnie, out of the Boulder Circus Center. I've been involved in circus arts for 27 years, have known Joe for about 17, since when I first moved to Boulder, and he attended one of my performances as part of a CU program, and he was brought into that with the Lever Seas. I believe Sarah was in that show as well, and we connected, and that led to things like Art is Action later and whatnot. So I'm going to be kind of emceeing the day here today. We have a number of things that we want to share with you all. Again, back table over there, chance to write down stories or memories, anecdotes for the family. Back center spot if you want to make a donation to the Joe Ramas Memorial Fund. That's there. Obviously the food on this side. There's, again, some photographs and things over here and some watercolors that you may be interested in taking with you. So feel free to help yourself to that, and if we run out, we'll print more. There's a phone number there that you can call if you want one of those watercolors and didn't get a chance to grab it. So a little bit of logistics there. Bathrooms, if you haven't found them already, there's a side hallway right down here to the bathrooms. There's also a single family bathroom in the main lobby there. So having handled logistics, as I mentioned as I was inviting you guys to sit down, it's been really beautiful for me to be here this morning and see you guys all connecting with each other. And that was really one of the little flowers that came out of this tragic event that struck a week ago, 2 weeks ago now. Time is kind of warped in my head because a lot of time just evaporated sitting in ICU. But one of the things that's been really amazing to see is how this community, the many-stranded web of connection to Joe, how those strands are interconnected, and how this community, all of you, have come together in such a beautiful way. I mean, I personally really fell in love with all of you on an even deeper level than before. I work my butt off in the background trying to hold space to help you guys do what you do. So not all of you know me. You don't know how much I love you all and how much I love seeing you do your thing. But I really do. And watching you all, the way that you have connected with each other, the way you have opened your hearts to each other, and to me too, not just each other, but the way this group has opened to each other in the midst of this very just heartbreaking situation has really, I mean, I'm like, oh my God, I love getting to be part of all of you, because you guys are really amazing. So, as we start things off today, I really want to take a moment to just invite you all to take 3 really deep breaths. Really, really expand your lungs, your diaphragm, and breathe each other in. Really take in what is here in this room, these beautiful hearts and souls and spirits and minds. So really take those deep, deep breaths and inhale each other. And now I want to invite you, just take a few seconds here to look around the room a little, acknowledge each other, the people next to you, look them in the eye, say hi. Maybe you know the people you're sitting next to, maybe you don't. If you don't, introduce yourselves to each other. And as you're looking around, really think about, really make a clear connection in your mind of the fact that you are connected to all of these people. If you knew Joe or if you knew Stacy, you are connected to everyone in this room through this incredible web of joy for life, of wanting to make the world a better place, of wanting to do cool, interesting, innovative things, and in general of just wanting to show up for each other and make each other's lives better in whatever way we can. That's what I witness in all of you, and certainly one of the principles that Joe really embodied was simply really wanting to make other people's lives better by helping them do some technology, helping them choreograph something, helping them learn, get better at music, whatever. So you guys are all part of that, feel that, and what we're going to do next here is play a slideshow that was compiled by Sean, and this really, we did our best to pull in slides in the brief time that we had, that kind of covered all the different facets of Joe's life, from way back old college friends and the Red Penguin Records days and MBDP and Boomstick and Art is Action and Fractal Tribe and LASP and just the coffee shop days and being a person who was around town, meeting lots of people because he just had a joy for people. So enjoy these slides, and as you do, again, really remember that you are part of this community. A lot of us have been crying a lot of tears lately, and that is really beautiful because Joe and Stacy are both really worthy of every tear you shed. And in that, it is so great to have all these people around who you can lean on, get an extra hug, whatever it is you need. So watch these slides and know that you are part of this. Without a little technical difficulty, we'll get sound on this momentarily. We'll start it over.
I have a boss that I respect and love working with. I work with one of my best friends, doing things that I really like. I actually went to school for, which is also pretty rare. I love my job. I love the people I work with. That's the thing I like the most. But that's not even like, if it wasn't for the people, I would leave. That's not even true. Like, the work itself is amazing. Like, I would withstand shitty people to work there. But I don't have to. I would withstand shitty work to work with those people. Again, I don't have to. I would withstand shitty both of them if I had a good enough boss, which I do. But it doesn't matter, because it's all awesome. I imagine it's all related.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And even though, so I phrased it all that way, it's not actually true. I said that a little bit for effect, because I don't put up with shitty people, I don't put up with work I don't like, and I don't put up with shitty bosses, which is why I've been broke for the bulk of my life. Maybe that's the price you have to pay, I think, to get the ideal job. I have a very blessed life.
Rocket man, burning out the fuse out there alone. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids.
Joe Ramas. I'm a walker, and I vote.
In fact, it's cold as hell. And there's no one there to raise them.
I'm making the same noise like
If you did.
Can I get a, wow, that's a lot of sound. All right, now we're good. Can I get an amen for art? Amen. Can I get a hallelujah for science? Hallelujah. Can I get a thank you, Joe, for all of it? Thank you, Joe. I love you. It's amazing how many different realms of life Joe had his hands in. And I'm glad that all of you were in all of that as well and getting to be here celebrating that. In just a moment, so logistics. We've got some chairs. There, a bunch of people kind of came in a little bit later, so those of you who need some chairs, we've got more being brought in from the side there. Feel free to help yourself to those. We're going to bring up a harper named Valerie, who I gather was one of the #1 fans of Boomstick. And she's going to play a really special piece on this lovely instrument here. While that happens, what I wish for you guys, I could stand here all day and talk about all the things that I witnessed, observed, and appreciated about Joe over the many years that I knew him. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is what each of you witnessed in Joe, what each of you appreciate about him, what each of you want to carry forward. If you believe at all in things like quantum mechanics or the idea that time is not linear, then Joe, though he's no longer in flesh and blood here with us, he's very much still here. He lives in your heart, in your mind, in your memories, and in whatever essence of him rubbed off on you every time he came and gave you a giant hug and lifted you off the ground. And yes, I know some of you didn't actually like being lifted off the ground, but everyone who told that story in the hospital with Joe, so many people came in and sat with Joe and said, Joe, I don't let anyone lift me off the ground. But I always let you do it because I felt totally safe in your arms and because you had such incredible joy in doing that how could I possibly not enjoy it myself? So in whatever way he rubbed off on you, as we listen to Valerie play this piece of music, I really invite you to just reflect on that and feel it in you. Like, call that mental snapshot back, call that physical, visceral sense back in your body, call that memory back in your mind, or call that just gestalt energetic feeling back. And know that you get to take this with you, and part of why we gather in this way is to have this reflection and to get to think about, what part of Joe am I going to carry forward into the world? What part of Stacy am I going to carry forward into the world? How am I going to continue his legacy? So I really invite you to think about that and think about all the ways that you were touched, and to really rest solidly in the knowledge that while he is out tripping through the cosmos, if you believe in heaven, maybe he's in heaven. If he pissed you off one time, maybe you think he's in hell. Wherever you believe he may be, he still exists very firmly and very solidly in you. So please think about that as we listen to Valerie. Can we have a gentle harper welcome to Valerie on stage? Thank you. think it's really one of the most profound aspects of the human experience is to relate to death. None of us make it out alive. That's a given. And this is one of the things that we know in our animal brain, our entire life, we know that somewhere out there in the future is the end of this body. And so you got to reconcile that. Somehow you have to think about, how do you want to choose to relate to that? Is that something to fear? Is it something to look forward to? Is it something to hate, to rebel against, to see if you can make a computer hard drive that is enough memory capacity that you can download your consciousness onto it and stay alive forever? How are you going to relate to this event, which is guaranteed to be part of your life? And how are you going to relate to this event when it happens to someone you love deeply? This is what we all get to have thrown in our face right now, because as happens in this life, sometimes a lightning bolt comes out of an empty blue sky, strikes without mercy or without any sense of caring. In this case, the lightning bolt took the form of a black sedan hurtling down the road towards a red light and a driver who somehow was not aware of the stopped cars in his path. It's hard not to ask the question, all the what ifs. Like, what if Joe had decided he needed to take a leak right before he left the circus center that night? What if someone said, oh, hey, Joe, I want to talk to you. Let's schedule a time to talk about that new performance piece. 30 seconds, any direction. And Joe and Stacy are not in the path of that car blowing through that red light. And so it literally is that sense of something completely out of the blue, completely unexpected. When Joe was at the hospital and they were doing the organ test to check for his ability to donate organs, they took him off life support for 15 minutes, and he did not skip a beat. Heart just kept cruising on, perfectly strong. Lungs, the nurses were saying, oh my God, he's breathing like a marathon runner. He was in perfect health, probably the healthiest that he's ever been, given that he had smoked at other times in his life. There was no reason for him to die apart from this lightning bolt out of the blue sky. And so, as we all are now forcefully invited to contemplate death, what I also wish for all of you is to contemplate life. Joe was a part of this troupe who we're going to see in a few minutes called Fractal Tribe. And I really feel that this was one of the ways that he most profoundly asserted his joie de vivre, his passion for life, and his just unrelenting desire and drive to just express himself in the most powerful way possible, constantly trying to create, to innovate, to make something happen that really created that sense of truly being alive. I know a lot of you, almost all of you who I know, are struggling with something. This may be the part that makes me tear up the most. Like I said, I love you guys so much. And I know that 2015 was one hell of a rough year. And damn it if 2016 isn't shaping up to be a pretty rough year too. I know a lot of people are hitting some serious speed bumps. And this loss of some people we love is just one of those speed bumps, one of those hits in life that is knocking some of us on our butt. And so as you watch Fractal Tribe, and this is kind of an excerpted piece from the It's Never Too Late to Airplane, or You're Never Too Old to Airplane, pardon me. Whatever the hell it's called. As you watch this, a lot of it ties into the idea of interconnectedness, of community, of support. That's so much of what acro yoga is about, is supporting each other. And so, again, knowing that everyone out here is facing some kind of challenge in life, some kind of struggle, some kind of hardship, really take in the essence of this piece, the essence of what you hear Joe talking about here, which is about supporting each other. Again, this is what I'm wishing for all of you, is that you walk out of this room today knowing that at any moment, you can reach out to anyone else in this room, longtime friend or stranger alike, and know that each or any one of us will do whatever we can to help you with whatever you're dealing with, or to help connect you to someone who can help you better than I can. Okay? I want you guys to really walk away with that. This is an amazing community. We have done incredible things for each other. If you need something, turn to these incredible people around you. Take that with you today and really feel it when you watch this. So with that, let me get a round of applause to welcome Fractal Tribe.
We all do it for different reasons, but we all love it.
And here's why. I love it because it encourages me to take risks.
These bodies have no idea how to lie.
Bodies are designed to fit with other bodies, to share and exchange information through contact.
It's how I speak to others. And in the process, it brings me closer to the people I love.
When I was a child, my sister would lay on her back, put her legs in the air, put me on her feet, and make me feel like I could fly. I don't know if you called it Superman, airplane, vogeltrip, or something completely different. But I'm going to guess that someone made you feel that way too. But then we grew up, and we grew out of it. We forgot what it's like for someone to make us feel like we can fly. But it still feels really good to be held up by someone, by a whole group of people. My days are always a little bit better when I get positive physical touch from people that I trust. That's my favorite part, the trust. When you build that foundation of trust with people that support you, that you support, it's inspiring. You become a community dedicated to helping each other reach great heights. There's nothing quite like knowing you can take a little extra risk because there's someone there to catch you. It's so refreshing to be part of a community in which it's okay to fall. We all do it, and we're all there to help catch each other. All you have to do is ask. The biggest difference between listening to a body and listening to words is that a body can't hide anything. It has no idea how to lie, which is why any of this is possible. Being open with your partner feels beautiful. Being open with your community feels sublime. This guy put her 89-year-old grandmother into a shoulder stand. No prior training. Just practice. You want to see something really impressive? Check this out. Impressive, right? Yeah. Okay. Here's the point. I'm not that impressed by our handstands. I am impressed by this. Which of you has the best handstand?
He does, because he's a parkour
He does,
guy.
because he's a handstand coach.
And they're all correct. You see, we're not competing with each other. We all have different values. We're all getting something different out of this experience. When you compete, you have to abandon your personal set of values in order to adopt an arbitrary set of standards that may or may not have anything to do with the thing that you love. What we do is hold people on top of us, or conversely, make it easy for people to hold us up. Can you imagine how different this would be if this was just a race to the top? If we just climbed on top of each other, stepping all over one another? If when we fell, we just hit bottom? If every advantage was taken to be capital leverage to preserve a place of privilege, I have no doubt that this would make people very good at climbing to the top. But I'm pretty sure the game would quickly change from how do I get to the top, from the 1% who got there thinking to themselves, how do I keep everyone else down? With 1 in 7 crushed and starving at the bottom. But that's not what we do. Turns out, we're terrible capitalists. What we do is think about the bottom and build from there. And I'm not just talking about how we do this. I'm talking about how we operate as an organization. We are Fractal Tribe, an internationally performing circus troupe, a group of friends, and a fledgling intentional community. We build systems that help us share our resources, from the food we grow in our community garden to the props and costumes we build in-house. We share our hardware and knowledge, including how much each other gets paid. What we found in this community is that everything works a little bit better when you're open about what you're going through, you're honest about what you want from people, and you act supportive rather than competitive. Now, I don't know what your community is like, whether or not this would work for them, but pushing that envelope has certainly worked for this one. If there's only one thing that you remember from this talk, I want you to remember, you're never too old for airplane.
I'm a circus artist. I've been doing circus for 27 years. I've spent the vast majority of my life learning to control my body in such a precise way that I can keep 7 balls aloft, I can walk on a tight wire that's only 2 millimeters in diameter, and I can spend hours on a ball, juggling, mingling through a crowd at a corporate event with precious art auction items nearby and people bumping into me drunk and not fall off that ball. So I've spent a huge amount of time learning how to control a really incredible array of variables. And in all of that, one of the most profound lessons is I'm not in control. I don't get to control so many things that I wish I could control in life. We don't get to control tragedy. There is nothing we can possibly do to prevent unexpected events from happening. And they're unexpected. We don't know when they're gonna happen. Any given moment, walking down the sidewalk, we never know. What we can control on a good day is how we choose to utilize this incredible tool in our skull, this brain, how we choose to utilize our mind in relating to these events. In this case, we don't get to control the fact that our friends got ripped out of our lives far sooner than we wanted to let them go. What we get to do here is we get to do everything we can to extract as much beauty, as much growth, as much profound life lesson from this tragedy. And I've been watching this manifest for the past couple weeks. So we've got some free time here. Again, there's a place to share anecdotes at the back of the room, and ultimately those will be compiled and shared with the family. We are creating a Joe Ramas Memorial Fund because that's one of Joe's wishes. He had, just prior to his death, had just been on the East Coast a few days earlier, basically laying his father to rest. And that brought to mind for him, hey, I might want to put some things in order. And one of the things he talked about with his good friend Dave was, if something were to happen to me, I want some of my financial assets to go towards supporting the ongoing development of people doing cool, creative things. So there's going to be this fund that we're going to be growing and building. If you want to make a donation to that today, the clear receptacle in the back there. Enjoy the food and drinks, but most importantly, enjoy each other. Tell each other that you love each other. Give each other the biggest hug that you possibly can, because you know that that's what Joe would do with you here today. He would squeeze you and hold you tight, and you would feel that surge of joy and being loved. And as you ultimately go out into the world, think about how you can take this horrible tragedy that we want to rail against and get something positive and meaningful out of it. Because that's how we take tragedy and grow a garden and ultimately harvest some fruit and make our lives and the world a more beautiful place. And that's what I wish for all of you. So enjoy each other, and thank you so much for being here.